Hello and welcome to another edition of Let's Talk Portland. Each month I interview guests about initiatives underway in Portland Public Schools that move us forward to becoming the best small urban school district in the country by 2017. You're invited to join the discussion by logging on to the Let's Talk Portland link on the district's website. Today we're going to talk about job shadowing and internships, two important kinds of expanded learning opportunities our students are engaged in. Expanded Learning Opportunities, or ELOs for short, are part of a district-wide initiative focused on student-centered learning, creating pathways for students that better meet the needs of our high school students and get them involved and connected to the community and careers. To talk about job shadowing and internships with me today, we have three guests. One is Eric Moynihan at Jobs for Maine Graduates. He's a pathway coordinator at Portland High School. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Thanks. Glad to be here.
And with Eric, are two students who are going to tell us about their job shadowing and internship experiences and how they benefited them. We have Mohamed Nur and Moses Small. I'll give you a little bit of background about these two amazing individuals. Moses, a junior at Portland High School, who did a job shadow at Channel 6. Since then, Moses has accepted an internship at Maine Public Broadcasting Network and has applied to become a member of the MPBN Student Board of Directors. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We also have Mohammed, a senior at Darien High School and the student board member rep as well. He had an internship with Maine Senator Angus King, field office in Scarborough, and completed a job shadow at Maine's Med Hospital Doc for a Day program. He's also, as I stated earlier, one of our student representatives on the school board. So welcome, Mohammed.
Thank you.
Now, Eric, a 3-year, $5 million investment from Nellie Mae Education Foundation grant was given to Portland Public Schools. Now, Jobs for Maine Graduates and Learning Works received this grant in 2012. It led to the hiring of the Pathways Coordinators like yourself at our high schools to help expanded learning opportunities for students. Can you give me, in our viewing public, some examples of the work you and the other coordinators are doing to make this happen?
Yeah, I'd be glad to. Excuse me. My counterpart at Darien High School is Pam Bessie, and we're both pathway coordinators at Jobs for Maine's Graduates. In our first year, and maybe the first year and a half, our mission was to build interior and exterior relationships. Get out and meet the businesses, meet all the staff, let everyone know what we're planning to do, and to start piloting extended learning opportunities for different students throughout the two schools. Three good examples of businesses that have been just wonderful for us and have offered opportunities to both schools, and including Casco Bay High School, is the Maine Medical Center. Maine Medical Center allows busloads of students to come for job shadows. They host an event that Mohammed was on called Doc for a Day, which is to follow a doctor around for the day at the Maine Medical Center. And then they have a winter series that all three schools send students to, and a teacher from each school, called the Maine Medical Center Bio Research Series that happens February through April throughout the winter. Another organization that we've built wonderful relationships with is the Portland Fire Department. The Portland Fire Department has done job shadows at Central Station. They've done job shadows at the Portland Fireboat. They've done job shadows at the airport. They've done internships at the central office where a student from Portland High School worked to update their website and update information on smoke detectors. We've also have a classroom now at Portland High School called Fire Safety 1, where students from Deering and Portland come. And we've expanded that to an EMT course as well this year. We have Portland and Deering students attending there. So that's a second real strong business relationship that we have within blocks of Portland High School. The third one is Unum, and Unum is a very, very strong partner, external partner. Every year, Unum hosts a thing called Unum Tech Night, where we bring 80 students from Portland, Deering, Casco Bay, and area schools to meet 4 hours, have pizza, and talk and have demonstrations on all sorts of anything technical. So it's a wonderful opportunity. Unum is involved in mock interviews at our Career and College Expo. They send HR people to do mock interviews. They come to our freshman seminar at Portland High School to help with resume writing, interview skills, mock interviews. So those are three wonderful organizations. There are many, many more that I could highlight, but these are three that do events at all three of the high schools.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing that. And I want to thank all three organizations, Unum, Portland Fire Department, and Maine Medical Center, for partnering with us in this work. Could you tell us, why are job shadowing and internships important for our students?
Well, I think the research is showing more and more that students enter high school, and it's a big wide world out there. And so the emphasis is on ninth grade at both high schools to give kind of interest surveys and to get a feel for what career path the students may want to take. And then we follow that up with sophomore year with job shadows. And job shadows, it may not be what they want to do forever, but it gives them an indication of the job, the culture of a business, the pay, the pathways that get there, or just as importantly, it may show that they don't want to do that job. So job shadows are very, very important. And then as the student becomes more in depth into the studies and following a pathway, we introduce internships the junior year. And that becomes a half year, a semester program that's generally 45 hours of work. And that just gives relative real life experience. Ideally, it complements the work in the classroom and the curriculum in the classroom and makes the learning real world relevant experience.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
and we're going to dive right into some of those real-world learning experiences with our other two guests that are here with us today. So I'm going to give you the opportunity, Moses, Mohammed, to each sort of summarize your job shadowing internship experience and what were some key takeaways. I guess we'll start with Mohammed, you first.
Sure. So my first ELO was a job shadow at the Maine Medical Center, a Doc for a Day program. And I got to follow a doctor around for the day, and I was able to ask them questions about how they became a doctor, what specific field that they work in, the type of situations that they're in, and the path from college to medical school, and some advice they could give me.
And what did you learn in terms of the path from secondary to post-secondary? What were some of your takeaways?
It's very difficult. That's the first thing I learned, and it's a very long process. So you have to be really dedicated to the field and dedicated to helping people, and that's the biggest thing I took away. And that there is such a support system within the colleges and the universities that want these students to succeed. And just the joy that I saw the doctors have on their faces every time they saw a patient, and the joy they had to sharing their knowledge with me about the medical field, it was very, very exceptional.
And what about your most recent internship experience in Senator Angus King's office in Scarborough? How was that experience?
It was a very eye-opening experience. I'm super grateful that I was able to have this opportunity. My interests academically vary, as you can tell. So I'm a part of student government. I'm co-president of my class. I'm the student rep to the school board. So I've always had that interest in politics. But I wanted to see what an actual political office, a federal office, looks like, and what the day-by-day situation is. So throughout my internship, I did anything an intern would do. I answered phone calls. I was able to interact with the constituents, but also had major projects that I had to complete. One of them was collecting school information for Cumberland County for both public and private, and I was able to send that off to our Augusta office, and I was able to write policy papers around major issues that were occurring in Congress. So the work that I was doing for the office was actual work that benefited the Senator King. And that's the biggest thing that really surprised me. I came into this internship expecting not to do actual real work, and I'm happy that I was proven wrong. And I felt happy that I was able to contribute to the office and got to see this other side to the political field.
Fantastic. And Moses, you also had the opportunity to do job shadowing internships. You want to share your key learnings, takeaways? What was the experience like for you?
Sure. Well, I guess it started, I've always been pretty interested in broadcasting since and just speaking in public since the moment freshman year, I decided, hey, I want to run for class office. And so I make my speech, and it's just little me just speaking about having just a blast. And then I started doing announcements a little bit after that. And then I found out during a career fair, there was a media section. And in that media section, I met a news anchor named Jackie Ward, and eventually I got the job shot at Channel 6. And I really didn't know what to expect, but I loved what I found. It was just so much of a great environment, but it really taught me what kind of thing you need to be. You need to be very driven, very self-motivated, and at the same time, you need to be a quick thinker, but you also need to be good at planning things. And that's a lot of what I've taken away, even in just my short time right now, even in MPBN, you have to know what you're doing. And you know how to take things in a different direction, no matter whether that's hosting a show, whether it's planning for a show, one guest may not be able to make it, you have to just you have to know how to make those adjustments.
All right, that is fantastic. And I think for both of you, if you were going to talk to an 8th grade student, right, who was wanted to determine whether or not a job shadowing was a good fit for him, for her, you know, what sort of advice would you give a young person about taking full advantage of these sorts of opportunities? So we're going to reverse order. So Moses, I'll let you go first this time. What would you say to an 8th grade student who's looking at this opportunity next year?
So I would tell an 8th grade student, find what you love, then go for it. Definitely do not hold back. If you really care about something and you feel that you can do it, then within reason, just go for it. Do whatever you can.
All right. Mohammed, thank you for that.
I would say a job shadow or an internship really complements what you're learning in the classroom. You talk about the theories and all of these different aspects to what you're learning, but a job shadow and an internship will give you the actual practice of doing it. So that's the biggest thing I took away from my internships and my job shadow. So that's my biggest advice. If you're passionate, like Moses said, about something, pursue it. You could see if you liked it or not. That's the biggest thing.
All right, and I'm very proud of both of you. You're so well accomplished, and you really represent the best that Portland Public Schools has to offer. And to our viewing public, you're looking at a future anchorman and a future
Senator,
congressman. Okay, so we want to make sure that you do that. And for members of the public who are other businesses, I'm turning to you, Eric. How would a prospective business get involved that wants to offer job shadowing internship experiences to students such as Moses and Mohammed? What would they have to do?
it's very easy. The process at this point is very easy. Just go to the Portland Public School website and click on the link that talks about extended learning opportunities, and you'll have Pam Bessie from Deering High School and my email address at Portland High School, and we will be glad to get back to you and give you a menu of opportunities that you can get involved with the schools and the students.
All right, so businesses, pay attention, just one click away for creating opportunities for our students. And I want to thank our students for sharing your experiences, and to our viewing audience. If you'd like to learn more, or you can offer a job shadowing internship opportunity to our students, please go to the Jobs for Maine Graduates website, okay, and click on schools, and you can find the contact information, just as Eric shared with you. And so one last thing, I'd like to draw your attention to the great student artwork that we have on display on the wall behind us here. It's all about putting our students first. The artwork was done by students in Diane Mancy's commercial art class at our Portland Arts and Technology High School. Thanks to those students for these impressive examples of creativity and skill. And thank you for tuning in.
Thank you.